This episode of MMA Nuts is brought to you by HostGator. Save 30% off hosting with code MMA. TireBuyer.com. Save $30 off your order of $400 plus with code MMA Nuts 30. Defense Soap. Get 15% off your order with code MMA Nuts. Woo! Hey fans, this is MMA Nuts, episode 246.
246ers.
My name is Ingo Weigolden.
Back with the MMA show. By my fans, for my fans, we're walking the line between serious and ridiculous. I just stuck it in you right there.
Nice.
Take it.
Well, I can see you're wearing your Hawks gear.
Woo!
Why is
I just
that,
broke
Matt?
everyone's speakers because I haven't represented this year yet.
No, you have a reason to now.
Yes.
They're going to the Cup, are they?
I didn't think they were.
Hey.
It looked a little sketchy there.
Did it?
A little hit or miss.
Went to Game 7, but...
Yes. They're ready to make another run. It's not a dynasty.
What's their chances of winning, you think? Have you been following hockey?
Just the playoffs.
Yeah. Who are they playing? Fighting.
I think it's the Tampa Bay Lightning.
You know, it's weird because I watched part of the game and there were no fightings. What's
There's
happening?
no fighting. I've watched, and actually this year I've watched a lot of Blackhawks games. I've seen zero fights this
What's
fucking
going on?
year.
This is not hockey.
They've pussified the game.
God damn it.
Well, although it's sad because I was just reading an article because back in the day, Mike Peluso used to be my favorite Blackhawks player. He also led the team with the most penalty minutes, 407, mind
Whoa.
you. I think that's the third most all time. I think that record still stands, but
So he got paid to not play.
yeah, go out there and kick some fucking ass.
Perfect.
Not the best fighter, but he would always fight. But anyway, I read an article about him now, and he's got all sorts of fucking concussions, and he goes through seizures, and is involved in a lawsuit. I don't know if he's suing the NHL or I forgot what the last team he was on. Maybe the Devils, New Jersey Devils. So I think he's having all sorts of problems. And
Why is he suing them?
because he would be concussed all the time, and they would just say, "Oh, you're fine. Go out and play. Go out and fight." And
The NHL would?
yes, or his team would.
His team would.
They would just give him some shots. Standard protocol. Go back out, fight some more.
In the penis?
Of course. Where else?
I don't know.
If you're gonna take a shot, take it
Shots
right
in the
in the
penis.
fucking dick hole. Go fight.
That's terrible, though. I mean,
It sucks. It sucks. Like these people, you didn't know what was happening, and now they're all fucked up. And especially the enforcers. I think a lot of them committed suicide, and now you're seeing all these concussion-related issues, and it's a tough life, man. You got to think about I want to say if you're a hockey fighter, you are just taking blows to the head.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like an MMA fight where you could avoid it. A
Yeah.
hockey fight, you're going to get punched, and you're going to get punched right in the fucking head a bunch of times, multiple times. And say you have 10, 15 fights in a season. Oof.
It's a lot of fighting.
And then for 10 seasons.
100 fights.
And amateurs. And
100 slugfests.
Yes. And then all the hits. And
Yeah.
anyway.
Crazy sport.
It's not good.
I still can't believe a lot of these dudes don't wear mouthpieces or like full visors. And I see these guys.
Yeah.
How do they all have good teeth? I don't
The
get it.
fucking, like Dan Henderson, right? You just put the fake teeth in. They always have that.
Okay, interesting. But yeah, it's good to see hockey still alive. Hey,
They need to fight more.
let's continue.
I think that's the moral
I don't like
of the
that there's
story.
no fighting. I don't get
I
it.
know. That's why I liked the game back in the
Yeah.
day. They used to fight when Mike Keenan used to be the head coach for Blackhawks. That's all they did was fight. Everyone, you had fucking Mike Peluso, Stu Grimson. I think those guys were 1 and 2 penalty minutes. Brian Marchment, Steve Smith, Chris Chelios. Fucking whole
Yeah,
team
it's
was
like
crazy.
you see a guy take a hit now, and it's like no one does anything about that. Someone
No.
should come off the bench and beat somebody up. For
Yes,
that, right?
leave the bench, get 20 games. I miss those days. Or a bench clearing brawl, a line brawl. You don't see
Yes.
that much. And the fucking goalies throwing
Oh, yeah,
down.
Colorado versus Detroit. Yeah, in
Yeah.
the playoffs, no
Shit,
less.
yeah.
Fucking
It was probably Claude
Osgood
Lemieux,
and-
probably Patrick Roy.
and Patrick Roy going ball bananas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good series. That was good, man. The golden
As
days.
we digress.
Yes.
So we talk about some.
Let's circle back.
Yes, it's some Fight Night 67 recap,
Yes, thank you.
which allegedly had the massive attendance of 3,500 people there.
Ouch.
The lowest viewed card.
Where's
the
this
lowest
thing at?
number. What do you mean? Here we go.
Oh, it's Brazil?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm waiting.
I'm not saying
I already preempted that the slide was
I
in
can't read
Spanish
the
or
Spanish
Portuguese.
fucking slide he has up.
I knew it's going to be mass confusion. I didn't change it just to
We
fuck
should
with
say
him.
like UFC, like the Spanish version of Fight Night. The whole thing should be in Spanish.
It might be
except
Portuguese
UFC.
for all I know.
So who knows?
Anyway, so
It might be.
they only
Portuguese.
had 3,500 people.
Ah, that's.
And when I was
fucked up.
watching it on TV, I noticed
Yeah,
a lot of emptiness there.
it did look pretty empty.
And I think they were blaming the Brazilian economy not so well, and sounds plausible.
Sure. A lot of poverty there.
And did you see the Ryan Jimmo fight, by the way?
I did not actually.
Oh.
The only fight I saw, and it was, I turned on the main event. I turned on the channel, and it just so happened they were 2 minutes into the first round of the main event, and I never went back on the DVR to watch the rest of it. Was it good?
No, it was terrible, but he got kicked in the balls so bad that he almost threw up.
Nice.
He took the full 5 minutes.
Okay.
And
Was he like,
yeah, he was dry heaving,
Oh,
and the
perfect.
ref brought a bucket in for him just in case.
Taking a
Like,
puke.
hey, there's a bucket. You got to take care of business. You take care of
you
it.
ever been kicked in the balls that hard?
Yes.
I have
Well,
too.
actually, it was riding a 10-speed bicycle, and I slammed on the brakes and slid right into the gearbox, full speed.
Ugh.
15 minutes down. I'm not fucking moving.
The
Thought I was
balls.
going to throw up.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Yeah, that's a terrible feeling. Women will never get that. They will never get
No,
that.
you kick them in the clam, and it does not. It hurts, but it's not
No.
that kind of hurt.
Because like I don't know if you play fight with your wife, but I
No.
do, and then she always takes it there, and I'm like, motherfucker, how many times have I told you that's not funny? Don't do that, you know? Sometimes she'll catch me off guard. She thinks I'm like tough or whatever. Like little like elbow right to the balls. Like, oh.
No, that's my daughter. She like
Oh, she's
the
yeah.
oldest one is always aiming for the ball. I'm like, self-defense, okay. When we're fucking around, not okay.
You gotta take one for the team, Matt. You have to prepare.
I take
her,
them all the
prepare her for
time.
life. You know, just think. Your ball's destruction will be saving her later in life.
Well, don't worry. I'm going to keep doing so much TRT that my balls are going to be the size of peas, and you're not going to be able to find them and or injure me anymore.
Yeah, perfect.
I'm just going to keep juice out of my mind.
I like
Out of my mind. So anyway, back to the Jimmo fight. So
yes. Gets
you
kicked
know,
in the balls.
yes, and he finally comes back. It's a shitty fight anyway. It's boring. Dana White tweets out, "All right, everyone, wake up! Nunes versus Oliveira is next. Pound sign, pound sign. That was brutal." The funny thing was, that fight did put me to sleep. As I fucking woke up, I'm like, what happened? What's going on? I'm like, I'm fucking. I had to wake up and watch the rest of the fights in the morning. But you know, remember? Jimmo was the guy who was talking all that shit about the UFC Reebok deal and how the UFC treats its fighters like shit, basically. I'm guessing he's probably getting cut.
After that,
Guessing he's probably getting cut.
likely.
But it's good to see someone else stepping up.
Mm-hmm.
What else? We had Oliveira versus Lentz. It was a good scrappy fight. Oliveira won by guillotine.
Nice.
I'll post that one up. Real fucking scrappy. I think it was fight of the night, too. I think Oliveira got a double bonus for a fight of the night and probably a performance.
Awesome.
And then we get into the main event, Condit versus Alves.
Yes.
This was a tough fight to watch.
I know.
I like both of these guys. I
Yeah.
think I favor Alves a little bit more, but
You always liked him. I remember when we started this thing, he was one of your favorites.
it's leg kicks. That's
Yep.
why.
Yeah.
Whack! Like kicking a side of beef. Whack!
Yeah.
So what happened here?
Well, I just think, the technical striking of Condit and him being as sharp as he was in this fight was kind of surprising to me because he had such a long layoff and he comes in and, dude, he looked
Off a knee
freaking on
injury,
point,
right?
man. Yes. He looked very much like he was in full form. I mean, he was hitting Alves with spinning shit elbows from weird places, just like bam, bam, bam. And then I forgot it was an elbow or a punch. It just
It was an elbow. It's like he hit him with the
exploded that
left,
nose.
hit him with the right, and
It's brutal, dude. And then, I mean, Alves tough as shit. I don't think I could continue. I mean, his nose was so busted he couldn't breathe out of it. He was breathing through his mouth. And Condit just pounding him in it. And when they got stood back up, I mean, Condit was like just jacking him in the nose.
yeah. And it was weird because this was a fight where a lot of people that were analyzing the fight thought it would be more of how he fought Nick Diaz, like how he was using the movement a lot.
Condit?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was just standing in the pocket and trading with them, but his combinations were so crisp, and it reminded me of the WEC Carlos Condit. He was a fucking killer.
Oh, he was.
And you think about it, I think he's got 30 wins, and 28 of those are finishes.
Wow.
Like, fuck, you don't see that shit anymore.
No.
Like, I'm not, you know, contrast that to, I was just looking at Johnny Hendricks, and he's got, I don't know how many decisions now. Like, man, what's going on?
Yeah.
We need people that are finishing fights.
Well, the wrestler has started to dominate MMA, and I think for Condit, maybe he stood in the pocket because there was really no like fear of getting taken down, right?
Yeah, not really. Because the only time Alves tried to do it was against Martin Kampmann, and he got fucking guillotined and lost the fight. Yes. That he was winning.
Yes.
You know?
That was the third round, right?
Yes. Because he had won decidedly, and he's like, I'm just going to go for a takedown just to make sure I seal this fucker.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Bad move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad for Alves. He's tough. No doubt he'll be back.
Yeah, it was a doctor's stoppage, too, between rounds 2 and 3.
Yeah.
And he could have fought on. It was weird that they just stopped it for a broken nose.
Well,
he did post a picture, which I'll post up. It was kind of fucked up. I think he's going to need some surgery to fix that.
So, I mean, they let Randy Couture beat the shit out of, what the fuck is his name? Gonzaga. Remember he busted his nose? Like.
Yeah, I guess maybe it depends where you're at. Like some of the countries. But you'd think Brazil would just fight on, man.
Yeah. No, because that happened early, too, and that went 5 rounds, I think, that fight.
I don't remember.
That was a title fight, if I remember. No, maybe?
I don't remember that one.
I don't know. That was a one-sided ass beating, too. But I think Condit has made a case for him to get right back in the mix here.
Yeah, it's weird because now we got, Rory McDonald and Robbie Lawler are going to fight for the title at UFC 189.
Mm-hmm.
You have Johnny Hendricks has no fight lined up. You have Tyron Woodley with no fight lined up. And now
those two are starting, though. They got some wrestling and shit.
Yeah, but it doesn't. Hendricks says he doesn't want to fight him.
I wouldn't see why not.
So it's like, what do you do with Condit? It's you either. He's fought both those guys. He kind of. It probably makes sense to rematch Woodley.
Yeah.
Because that fight ended in a freak injury.
He was getting his ass kicked though before that happened.
So I could see that, or a title fight. I'm good either way with that. I don't want to see him fight Hendricks. And I don't think Hendricks should get the title shot.
No.
So
it's a tough one. That division is fucked up. There's some killers in that division, though. Now that you mentioned that, geez, man. That's a tough division.
And then next for Alves, he probably has to fight Tarek Saffiedine.
Okay.
Because he's next in...
I'm good with that.
In as far as not having an opponent and a little lower in the rankings.
Yeah.
But that was a fun fucking fight.
It was.
I wanted to root more for people, but I couldn't. Like, God damn it, Condit, you're killing him. But I'm liking it, but I don't like it.
Yeah, when he's on, that guy is very scary.
Yeah.
So, cool.
We're moving right along.
Getting to the news.
Some news.
Yes.
Just quick. What do you got? Anything for news, or you want me to get into some shit? First off, let me say that we're being brought to you by superjeweler.com. If you need to get some bling for your bitch, you can get it here. You get 10% off with code MMA, or 20 off of 50 with code MMA20. It's all about bling for your bitch. Hey, speaking of bitches, or wait, betches with an E. Bethe Correia made some comments about Ronda Rousey.
She did.
As we bring us full circle. Saying something along the lines of, when you lose to me, don't kill yourself. Is that a problem? Do you think she went over the line there?
No. You think it was lost in translation, perhaps? Like the gays?
Thank you. I was going to say that. It could be. The gays. No girls. I can't train with the gays.
Dude, it's a fucking fight. Like, what? Oh, my God, you hurt my feelings because you said things. Yeah, I know. Ronda's got some history. I think her father committed suicide or something, right?
Yeah.
Of course, whatever she needs to motivate herself, great. I think it may be an error, and maybe Bethe didn't know this.
A tactical error?
You don't really want to piss off the most pissed off chick in MMA.
Why not? Now it makes it more interesting to me. I had no interest in the fight, but now a motivated
Ronda Rousey?
Are you telling me she's not going to break both her arms?
Motivated BJ Penn?
Right. She's pissed and good. There's some heat for the fight. I have no problem with her saying that. Bad taste, maybe, but fuck it. It's actually going to help sell the fight, so say anything. Unless you're Frank Mir. Don't say you want to kill Brock Lesnar, because then you can't fucking commentate WEC fights anymore.
No. Yeah, I mean, over the line. No, I don't think so.
No, fight on. You're going to get hurt, though, lady.
I'm sure Dana loves it, right?
Yeah, just feeding into it.
It's an interesting fight, though. It's an interesting fight. And I'm going to have to study this some. I have a weird feeling about this one. I don't know why. Something tells me there's going to be some fuckery and potentially Rousey could lose her belt in this one. I don't know why. I just feel like...
Well, can't they juice to the gills in Brazil? There's like no drug testing. I don't think either of these guys got drug tested, by the way. Alves and Condit. I'm just saying.
Bethe is a little big if you look at her. She's pretty stacked.
Thick.
Yes. She's like, except for the face.
Yeah.
That's why they have bags. It's all good.
You're on fire. Good for you. That's why I say you can say whatever you want. To get some heat. Add some heat to this mix.
Bags over the head.
That's right.
No, seriously though.
I hear you.
This is one. Okay, here, I'll give you this.
Go ahead.
If I had to pick between her and Cyborg, I would choose Cyborg. I think Cyborg has a much nicer face.
Easy. Cyborg is the hottest woman in MMA.
I'm sorry.
Hottest woman.
Yeah.
Blasphemy.
Okay.
You're on the borderline.
Okay, sorry. I didn't properly qualify my.
Yes.
Or whatever.
I'm gonna move right along then. Fine.
Please, dig me out of my hole.
Now I like every week. I like to get a Reebok update.
Great.
This is very fun to me because every week it seems like you have new fighters come up and talk about all this shit. So Eric Silva says he's gonna lose $12,000 a month with the new Reebok deal.
A month.
A month.
Whoa. Okay.
That's a lot of coin.
Yes.
Sarah McMahon has issues thinking it's unfairly impacting women fighters, and she's talking about getting an attorney to look into it.
Great.
So I'm like, cool, that's an interesting angle.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jose Aldo says the deal is shit.
Perfect.
Shit. And it looks like he's talking about being the leader of some sort of an MMA union.
I like it.
Which will be interesting to see.
He literally said the deal is shit?
Well, that could be another one where it's lost in translation.
Maybe he meant something else.
Not quite sure.
Yes.
And then the UFC did raise their minimum pay now to
10-10.
10 and 10.
Yep.
So I wonder if that's any response to all this. Let's give them a little something so they quit talking about all this Reebok nonsense.
It's not going to help.
It doesn't help. This seems like every day you get another fighter and another fighter. Is this all the fighters being just so short-sighted again?
Yes. They should just take their beatings and make no money.
Yeah.
And don't worry about making a living. Just UFC.
That's
UFC!
Right. Just bleed!
That's right.
Ugh.
It's a bunch of nonsense.
What else?
Chuck Norris.
Yes?
Received his third-degree black belt in BJJ.
Nice.
Who knew he even did BJJ?
What?
Did you know that?
Yes.
Did you know that?
Because I read it.
I did not know.
I think, wasn't he training it with Bruce Lee back in the day? Wasn't Bruce doing a little?
You know.
A little here and there?
Mm-hmm.
It's good to see. I'm ready for some, what was his league? Was it the World Combat League? Chuck Norris League?
I don't remember.
Kickboxing? What about, here's one for you. Vitor Belfort says he could have KO'd Weidman if he didn't blow all his energy out, and would have threw on more right hands had he not dislocated his shoulder pre-fight.
Like literally minutes before the fight?
I don't know. He's whacking off.
Whacking off.
At a furious pace.
Okay.
But why is this like the standard Brazilian playbook? 2
weeks after any fight in a Brazilian that loses, there will be an injury disclosure. Okay. It's coming.
And if you test positive for steroids, it's either the doctor or I didn't do it. I don't think we've ever had someone just come out and said, you know what, I took them and fuck you.
Yeah, Thiago Silva. Remember?
Did he?
He took his licks, remember?
Okay.
Yeah.
He might be, he's probably 99% Brazilian.
Yes.
There's 1%
He's the exception. He got busted for marijuana and steroids, didn't he?
I don't remember. I can't remember everything.
Yes.
But why? Can't they just take it? Take your loss, man.
Nah. They got to justify Jesus couldn't help him in this one.
No.
Jesus wanted him to lose.
It's true.
Yes.
Well, yeah, wasn't that a battle at Jesus's? Because I thought the Weidman is very into
Jesus versus Jesus. Yes. Thank you, baby Jesus.
Little 8-pound baby Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
What else? California State Legislature is in the process of passing a bill that will double the budget for drug testing in California.
From $2 to $4.
Yes. I think it's like $115,000 extra to go after drug testing.
Nice.
And gives them the latitude to fine a fighter up to 40% for a failed drug test now.
Whoa.
The interesting thing is they didn't go to a set amount for a fine, and they didn't go to a set time frame that you would be suspended for. So they have some discretion to say, okay, what's happening? I like this. I like discretion.
Because things are not black and white.
No. And discretion could be 6 months every time. I'm just saying, I like discretion.
Discretion's good.
What else is going
on? Thinking.
Should I talk about the Fertitta brothers?
Uh-oh.
The Bloomberg report about the
Good
Fertitta
point.
brothers looking to do an IPO for their station casinos.
IPO.
Said in 2009 there was a bankruptcy and the Fertittas put $238 million back into the station casinos. And they're saying they're valued at about $3.5 billion right now, including $2.15 billion of debt. How the fuck do you get $2.15 billion in debt? Is that good? That doesn't sound good.
Well, now.
Debt good? Does that cause issues with other properties? Like
no, because
Zufas?
everybody's in debt these days. Like, it seems like all this
$2 billion.
Well, when you're making $5 billion, then that's not
know.
much, right?
I don't know. If
I don't know
making
what
that
I don't
much.
know the numbers of of scale, but I'm wondering if any company these days is profitable. It's all smoke and mirrors. Huh?
Apple.
Yeah.
How many billions of cash do they have in the bank?
100 or something.
They might even have 200 billion.
Yeah, but like Amazon, like I don't think they're making
just
money.
scraping by.
Yeah, it was just crazy. The amount of volume they're doing on a monthly basis, and
I
they're
think
barely
they run at like 3 points or something crazy. It's such a low margin, high volume, low margin business.
crazy high volume. So it doesn't surprise me. I mean, a lot of these big businesses, they got huge debt floating around. So, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. I don't know. Too big to fail.
Everything.
Yes.
Just IPO it out, get your cash.
Yeah, it's like a cash grab. There's a way to get money back into the business or a way to get paid.
Cash
we should go
out.
IPO, Matt.
We should.
Totally.
I'm going to sell this fucker. I want to make bank.
Yes. You want to invest in MMA nuts?
Yeah. Get in on the ground. Well, it's not the ground floor anymore. We said
stock options.
we're about halfway.
Yes.
Yeah, we have stock options. We're going to pay you in one stock. And the last thing I have, it said that there's this game, I guess, Clash of Clans. It's like a mobile game.
Yeah,
a bunch of UFC fighters are hooked on this fucker.
Oh, really?
So like Donald Cerrone and Chris Weidman have been playing it. And
Against each other?
I don't know if they've been playing it against each other, but Cerrone said he spent $100 on it at the pool the other day just fucking around.
Whoa.
Like, I gotta stop spending money on this shit. Like, why do they still have games at this microtransaction
That's
bullshit?
everything. All of it that's all it's going to. A lot of these games, that's how they are. Like, they have the free-to-play model now where you get the game free, but then if you want to have, like, the cool shit, you got to spend $1 or $5 or $10 or...
Wasn't that the EA UFC mobile game? I thought people were saying if you wanted any of the good fighters, you had to pay, like, anywhere from $20 to $60 for a fighter.
I don't know. I never tried that one.
Me neither.
It's EA.
No interest.
It's fucking
Done.
Of course.
Out.
Of course they're gonna do that shit. That's EA, right? EA, then notoriously, here's your $60 game, and then your $60 subscription for all the shit that should have been with the game that we're now releasing day one.
Well, remember when DLC used to be $5 and then it went to $15?
Now you got your what do you call that, season pass or whatever they do. So,
why can't you include everything in the game anymore? What's this about?
'cause there's money to be made.
I don't know.
The monies.
I fucking can't stand it.
No, I've seen that. I've tried to check that out. I don't know. Mobile gaming is just kind of like, There's a lot of cool games for mobile, but I don't know. I know people at work that play it like crazy. It looks cool.
That one?
Clash of Clans, yeah.
Maybe I need to look into this. You could spend $100.
Don't do it, Matt. I know how you get.
I'll throw my fucking phone through the wall. That's a bad thing, because...
Where's your phone, Matt? You don't ask.
No, I haven't fucked up my controllers yet for this new Xbox, But I may have at least destroyed 2 on the Xbox 360. I may have put at least 2 holes in my wall for fucking launching the controllers.
Well, it's from the first-person shooters, but I think there's really not any good ones out right now. That Star Wars one looks awesome. I'm still waiting for Call of Duty or Battlefield to go back old school, like back to like Vietnam, World War II. I'm in.
Should be able to do some like blow and fuck some hookers or something.
Yeah. So we'll see if but you know, I from
Witcher. What's that one? The Witcher 3.
Yeah,
that looks to be good.
It's got like 10 out of 10 on it.
But I gotta wait. Like give it a month and let's see how everyone likes it and work all the bugs out. I'm not in for any of this
brand new shit.
Yeah. Let everyone else beta test it.
Yeah, there's not a lot of great games out right now. I don't think. I don't know. So, are we done with the news?
I think so.
That's the news. What's next?
Moving right along.
Ask
the nuts.
Do we have any questions?
No, thank you, Facebook. I like when you have 174,000 fans and you post a question, they only show it to 200 people. Awesome. That's useful. Thank you.
Thank you, Facebook.
Thank you.
Thank you, baby Jesus.
Moving right along.
So, knowledge. Let me bring your attention to something that I read about this week that freaked me the fuck out. So MIT creates autonomous jumping cheetah.
Monkeys in transit.
This is a robot that can jump over things by itself. Now you say, I'll show you the video. You saw this earlier. You say, what's the big deal? And you go, who fucking cares, right? Okay, well, if you look at this.
Yes.
This thing can jump over stuff, right?
Yes.
Look at it running. It's running. It's jumping. It's running over. Jumping. Jumping. This is like one step away. Maybe more than that. But from like, Terminator. So.
How does it handle a leg kick, though?
I don't know.
I'm going to kick that fucking little limp leg on that shit.
It freaks me out because this is not the only thing. You see like over in Japan, they got the fucking robots that kind of are like humans. They can self-think and all this stuff. And this is just the stuff that we know about.
Oh, I'm sure there's all sorts of
This is happening on a
shit.
college campus. What is happening in the military bases? What is happening in
rape?
Anal gangbangs.
I don't know.
Yes.
But what happens when it runs into water? Don't robots fear water?
Right now, I think they would be fucked. But
how about I just piss on that thing? You like this?
Yes. It's scary. It's really scary to me.
I'm not afraid.
That there's this technology out there. I mean, you're worried about like Google snooping on your emails. Like, this is scarier to me. Like robots and intelligent beings.
Didn't Elon Musk and I think a couple other people come out and say that this artificial intelligence is going to kill us all at some point?
Well, why wouldn't it?
Doesn't it need us to make it? Or they're just going to make their own machines to make themselves?
No, that's what happened in Terminator. Eventually, they become self-aware, right? And then they don't need humans. I mean, they're already smarter than us, right? Because they have unlimited computing power, right? So there's been millions of movies and comics and whatever written about this shit. It's happening as we speak. And with all the data mining that's going on like Google and all these other things, iCloud, all that other shit. So there's computers out there that are learning about things, that are learning about us, that are learning about how we think and everything else. And at some point, something that we create is going to be able to access all of that information all at once. Then what are we going to do?
Fucking kill it. We must kill them all and go.
Yes. Kill them.
I've got shotgun.
It's scary to me. I don't know. So between zombies and this shit, I'm not sure what's more scary.
Well, I don't see zombies coming.
No?
No.
It could happen.
Yes. No, I don't see that happening. It's these robots. They're going to come and get us all, right?
Well, my opinion is it's going to be robots in the sense of not physical things, but I think there will be a digital version of what we're looking at that's just going to fuck everything up. Like, imagine like there's a being living inside of the intranets or whatever, as everything becomes more and more connected. Smartphones, smart homes, smart everything, thermostats, heating and cooling, all that
That's
stuff.
why you got to say no to all that shit.
Well,
pass. No smart meter.
As that shit happens, eventually what's to stop somebody from like basically locking you in your house with no...
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's why I try to keep that advanced technology the
out
fuck away.
Yes.
I'm trying to keep my life
Matt
simple.
wears his tinfoil hat.
I do.
He wrapped his house in aluminum foil.
you can't fuck with me. I'm fucking fuck-proof over here. So what else I got? Oh, did you see M1's got a medieval night fighting thing? Night fighting, yes.
M1 Global?
Yes. They have these guys, they dress up in suits of armor, and they get into the fucking ring, and they throw down. And they allow punches, kicks, wrestling, and...
Whoa, he's got the thing on.
They have swords, but they're blunt. And then they'll allow it to go to the ground, so you can shoot a takedown, but you're only allowed 3 strikes once it hits the ground. But man, like fucking A.
Oh,
they are whacking the shit out of each other.
So they got a little like metal cage at the bottom,
Yeah.
and then it's also a ring.
Which I actually kind of like. I didn't notice that before. Like I like that setup. Little cage on the bottom with the ring.
How do you
ropes.
score this? Is it like a 10-point must system?
I don't know. It's very vague when you try to research what the rules are on said
there's
combat.
a takedown.
But I like it. It's something
I'm
different.
wondering, like, if they're blunt though, and there's a takedown, is there a risk of like impaling?
There could be. And you never know. It's Russia, right? Someone's gonna get fucked up.
Those are nuts.
But I think they should electrify the swords or something. You need sparks when this shit hits.
Fire! Fire! Fire!
That'd be awesome.
Fire!
I want something. I want blood. Fucking M1.
Cool.
See, the UFC should have partnered with them. You could have had cool shit like that.
Okay. Until someone dies and sues everybody.
It's
no one's
okay.
gonna
You
sue
run that in
anybody.
Russia. Don't worry. It'll all work out.
Russians don't sue people.
No, they'd kill them. Well, if you oppose the government, we kill you.
Death. Instant death.
That's it.
Shut it down?
Shortest show ever, I think.
It might be.
It was about 10 minutes.
Maybe 20.
Maybe 30. About 30.
There's not much going on.
There isn't. We'll be strong next week. UFC 188 preview.
Who's fighting there?
Cain Velasquez, Fabricio Verdum.
Never gonna happen.
Kane's gonna blow out a knee yet again.
Last knee on the way to the cage.
Don't worry, Andre Arlovsky will step up on short notice to knock out Fabricio Verdum again with an uppercut. That didn't happen.
Never
but
happened.
It was Junior Dos Santos did it.
Yes.
We've established this.
I feel like we've had this conversation.
We did. And we learned.
Weird.
We laughed. We learned.
Yes.
And all that good stuff.
So we'll see you next week.
Yes. That's it.
Thank you, Michael.
Thanks for playing. Nick Griffiths.